So we all know that any business is based on clients and sales. It's a no-brainer. There are a lot of millions, literally millions of trainings, hundreds of thousands of books written about it, and everything that we are doing here is 99% is explanation how to sell, to whom to sell, and what to sell. So public speaking, this is a perfect example, a wonderful course. I personally know the coach. He's a really cool guy and an incredible personality, and a highly professional trainer too, who explains how to talk, what to talk about, how to handle objections, how to control your voice pitch, your body language, how to boost your confidence, how to deliver your content. You can be a good professional, but you might not be able to deliver your knowledge. I remember I was a hired employee, I was a product expert. And in one company, it turned out that close to me, there was a sales department. We just were close to each other. And the sales managers were sitting in that room. They were selling what I was creating because I was the product creator, and I was quite interested in what they were saying to their clients because they were calling clients and they didn't even know what to tell them about our product. And I was ashamed, really, because I'm not a salesperson, although somewhere deep inside, I am a salesperson. I like convincing people. I like talking before people. It's a great pleasure for me. And so, sales, you need to love them. Like you need to love foreign languages. And if you're doing something without love, you won't achieve any success in it. People will feel that there is a lack of energy. They will feel that something is off. And I was ashamed that those sales managers were shaming my product by not telling proper things about it. And I went to that sales manager and I told him, "Can I help you?" And he says, "How?" "Let me sit close to you and I will be prompting you. I will help you handle objections. If you want me, I can write you some scripts." I didn't have to, but I just wanted to. I wanted to help because it was his problem. He had to sell. My task was to create the product. But I had a lot of free time, and instead of, spending it on my hobbies, I decided to spend it by helping my colleague to deal with his problems. So any business is clients and sales. And for us to be able to find clients online, there are classical instruments like advertising and public relations. Those are two main instruments out there. So people are invited somewhere, either using some kind of events or invitations. People want to learn more and they come. So this is first public relations, we call it. And or it's advertising, direct advertising. You can draw a banner, some poster, online physical poster. It can be text advertising, it can be videos. You can write people directly, you can call them. It's a direct advertising, and it's very expensive, it's time consuming and ineffective because it's not ineffective apps altogether, but is becoming more and more ineffective because everyone does it in the market. So we created an instrument to help us with that. It's a product. Some people, and it's a product based aimed for social network. And some people say, "I don't have a LinkedIn account." Well, create one. It's not that difficult. It's not like a social network of a small country that nobody uses. It's an international business network, number one. There are alternatives to it, but this is business social network number one. It means that people go there with the purpose of learning something about business, to sell themselves as specialists, to find a job, or to find a partner, a client, an investor. In my opinion, it's a crime not to join LinkedIn because LinkedIn is intentionally created for people to establish business relations, networking. LinkedIn is quite a complex instrument. I agree. It has quite complex interface. We've been working with LinkedIn since 2014. It's 6 years already. Very soon it's going to be 7 years. And for us, LinkedIn has always surprises for us. The mobile version, well, you can see my phone because of the virtual background, but okay. They always had one version for the mobile LinkedIn, a different version for the PC, and maybe different teams worked on different versions. And our product and the courses related to our product aim to lift all of those difficulties. So what our product is going to do is do the most difficult part for you. It's called sales. It's mining new prospective clients for you. I agree that you need to be able to close the deal, but usually 80% of the work is looking for leads and 20% is closing the deal. And how can I close the deal if I don't have any leads? I don't have any prospects. There is no way I can do it. So any sales managers needs new traffic all the time. That's why they tell you go and recruit, go and look for people. I remember Armand was saying that he's looking for people in Instagram, in Facebook. Great. LinkedIn. Here's one more social network. I'm taking LinkedIn just as an example because that's what we're working in with. Very soon we're going to connect Facebook and we'll be talking about Facebook too. So this instrument is a basic instrument. I'm not saying let's forget everything. Let's forget our World CRU. Let's forget other instruments. No, no way. This is what is going to help us to quickly, easily, and almost free to receive all those contacts. Well, of course, some money is spent. We need to develop infrastructure to maintain our servers, to pay our IT developers, programmers. Of course, it's not absolutely free, but compared to what you're going to spend if you buy advertising, direct advertising, this is nothing. This is peanuts. This is close to zero compared to your potential cost on direct advertising. That's why you need to learn how to use it. I'm not telling you go and buy. I'm not selling it. I'm just telling you how you should get the interest of other people. A person who wants to build a career in sales, in network marketing, build a career in the business overall, the first question they have to answer is where to find clients, how to start talking to them, and how to work with them in order to convince them to buy. This is the most important part. You can fire everyone. Well, the accountant. Well, you shouldn't fire an accountant, but you can fire it anyways. You can fire the director. You can fire all those departments that you don't really need. You can outsource it. But if you don't have a person who brings in clients, your business is dead. Sales manager is the backbone, is the foundation, is the core of any business whatsoever. That's why it's very important to find clients. I'm talking about very banal things here, trivial things, because many people understand it with their mind but cannot feel it with their hearts. And that's what you need to feel with your heart, that this tool is going to help us to make hundreds of millions of sales and spread our knowledge across hundreds of thousands and millions of people. But for that, we need to learn how to use it. And if you don't have that instrument, you get down to a computer and you start writing people with your hands manually. Will you be able to call a lot of people? Well, several dozens of people per day. What about tomorrow, the day after? What if you're sick? What if you're distracted? What if you're on vacation? What if you're on a sick leave? That's it. Your sales stop. We mentioned on several occasions. It's not like I'm revealing some incredible truths to you. Dmitry Radkovich, he's not online, although he's in the chat. My colleague said that this is a mandatory instrument for everyone, because how else can you do it? If you want to cover 15% of the entire globe, let's move on to the next slide.
Here it is. This is the statistics for you. This is like a game. I'm simply assuming, look, the global population is almost 8 billion people. It's clear that this is the rough estimate. So the rough estimate. And our goal, as you know, is at least 15%, 1.2 billion or even more. Let's actually assume this figure, 1.2 billion people in average community and in new ecosystem, new economic evolution of the world. And if we make phone calls, everyone, and travel around the streets, yes, you can do it, meet in the office And the rough estimates, again, they are rough because I'm not aware of all the details of network growth. And look, if we all grow together by 1% every month, 15,000 people a month, new people a month, compared to the total community of 1.5 million, then this is a compound interest, because if it is simple, it will take several hundreds of years. Look, if on average 12 months, 12% growth every year, then it will take us 60 years to reach this figure, 59, a bit less than 60. This is the table in the right-hand corner. So year zero, 1.5 million. Now, as is situation 10 years after, accordingly, we are going to have 4.5 million. And then approximately after 6 years, we will have 1.2 billion. I cannot survive so long, or maybe I will if there is this concept of eternal life, but maybe I will die. But look, I don't want to live another 60 years without money, and you don't. You want to have money 1 or 2 years after, and 10 years after to become millionaires. We want it here and now. We are not going to wait for 60 years. Therefore, we develop slowly. We need to speed up, to accelerate. We will actually apply the artificial intelligence that will work for us. Because if now we do not accelerate ourselves 10 times, we won't do it. So robots should replace us. They should work for our benefit. Giving phone calls, this is routine. So if you want, you can do it. We are not against. There are those saying, handling objections. Manually, we can add faster than data mining does. Yes, but first of all, data mining does it regularly, but manually you will do it every day, 5 years on a regular basis. You will be tired. Secondly, who do you add manually? Why do you know that these people are not added to someone else? So the percentage of crossing is maximum 5%. All the others are unique. But manually, look, we have 1.5 million and we will add each other manually. So our task is to find new people, but not manually add those we already have mined. And therefore, our digital clones should work instead of us. And this is the reason we need this product. Or you can do it manually with your own hands. But when our digital clones start adding the whole market, then our competitors, we don't have a lot of them, but nonetheless, they will come to us and tell us, guys, maybe you will sell it to us. You're welcome. So become a part of the Everreach ecosystem and you will get your digital clone. You don't want to be a part of Everreach systems, then you won't get it. Write your models. Next slide, please. What do we have? Briefly, I was very emotional. These are the figures. 7 billion profiles, again, a rough estimate. The exact number of profiles is not known, but roughly 7 billion profiles. And we have almost 7,000 miners, by the way. But as soon as we hit the record of 10,000 miners, so we have mined almost 4 million. It's not the report, the summary webinar, simply an amicable chat, but we will get approximately more or less 10 million people. Whereas having 100,000 miners, we will reach out 1 billion people. And eventually, one day, I believe in another few years, we will get a figure of 1 million miners. And by the way, we may not even need this, maybe 500,000 miners. So this way, we will reach out 3.5 billion users. Now we have approximately 7 billion users. Let's assume that half of them are either empty pages or bots or some doubled accounts, or they do not want to add you into the list of their friends. You understand, if they're reluctant, you may not force them. And this is my problem as well. They say in VK, they are not added, they do not add you as a friend. but I am added. It depends on many factors. For instance, your profile, they don't like it. Your page, they don't like it. They don't like your interests. They don't like the region where you live. There are those who actually add only those people they know from the real life. So then we can meet them in person. But look, my assumption is at least 3.5 billion people will be in our ecosystem eventually. This is our goal. Can you add so many people manually? No one can. No greatest MLM network in the history of mankind can find 3.5 billion. If they did, please show me. So this is the half of the global population, by the way. And let's assume that 15% of them will be in average network, whereas all the others are our prospects. Like Facebook has 2 billion profiles. These are potential prospects of Facebook. They use free of charge, I stress it, and they don't make money on them, but they sell some advertising and commercials, and indirectly they make earning. And we will have as well at least 3.5 billion potential users, whereas in reality the real users will be 1.2, a half of it. It's quite rational. And let's move on to this goal. But how can we do it? How can we find the tools? How many people do we have at this webinar? Let's assume 2,000 altogether, 3,000 altogether, and let's brainstorm together how we 3,000 persons can add or attract 3 billion. A difficult task. Everyone should add 1 million to get 3 billion. Can you add 1 million? I cannot. If you can, please tell me how. But our tool can do it. And this is the idea of digital doubles and data mining. They cost almost nothing, and it can do it. And this is actually the idea, the uniqueness of this